Hi everyone, welcome back to S&S Bio Info. Today's topic is transportation in human beings or the circulatory system in human beings. Let us study in detail about the human circulatory system, its parts and structure. Human beings are highly complex organisms, so we have well-developed organ system in the body. Each organ system is specific in function. We have already learned about respiratory system. Respiratory system is responsible for the gaseous exchange because oxygen is required for the energy production in the body. So that we have a specific mechanism for inhalation as well as to get rid of carbon dioxide from the body. Similarly, we have another system in the body, that is our circulatory system or transportation system. After the exchange of gases in the alveoli, where do these oxygen go? How do they transport? These oxygen molecules are transported by means of blood in the body, so that we have specific circulatory system. During gaseous exchange, the diffusion pressure is insufficient to transport the oxygen molecules to different parts of the body, so that we have an alternative system, that is our blood. So blood is transported through blood vessels, and we need a specific pumping organ to pump this blood to different parts of the body. That means the cell needs oxygen and nutrients, not only oxygen, nutrients, many hormones and other substances, salt, other proteins, etc. for its activities. So these are fulfilled by the circulatory system. Now let's learn more about circulatory system. Circulatory system is one of the most important organ system in the human body. Circulatory system performs several functions in the body. It not only performs the transportation of oxygen and carbon dioxide, but also it transports salts, hormones, various proteins and other dissolved substances through the blood plasma. Now let's learn more about the structure of human circulatory system. The human circulatory system consists of three components. They are blood, first one blood, second one heart, and third one blood vessels. Blood vessels. First of all, let's discuss about blood. Blood is a fluid connective tissue which transports various substances. Blood helps to maintain the body temperature and also a constant internal environment or homeostasis. Do you know what are the substances transported by the blood? Blood transports various substances like hormones, salts, organic compounds and gases, the respiratory gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide and some other important organic elements that are required for the cellular activities. The blood has two components. One is plasma, the other one is formed elements. Plasma and formed elements. Plasma is the fluid part of the blood that can carry the substances in their dissolved state. Some substances like hormones, some organic compounds, salts, they are transported as dissolved state through plasma. Even the gases, the respiratory gases are also transported as dissolved state through plasma. That we have learned in the previous session. Then the plasma also contains water. The major content of the plasma is water. Plasma contains not only water but also some proteins, the large proteins and small proteins that we can study in higher classes. Then formed elements. The formed elements are of three types. These are suspended in the plasma. The formed elements are RBC, WBC and platelets. They are, first of all, RBC, red blood cells, then WBC, white blood cells and platelets. First one, RBC, red blood cells. It is red in color due to the presence of a respiratory pigment called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is a protein molecule. Hemoglobin So when we think about RBC, we must learn more about hemoglobin. Hemoglobin or HB. Hemoglobin is one of the important part of the RBC because it transports both oxygen and carbon dioxide during respiratory cycle. This hemoglobin is a protein molecule. An element, iron, is required for the production of hemoglobin in our body. Our body always tries to maintain a particular level of hemoglobin in our body. Why? Because we need a specific amount of hemoglobin in the body to transport these respiratory gases. Otherwise, it will disturb other cycles in the body. The hemoglobin content of male and female are different. The hemoglobin content in the children is different from the male and female adult people. So the hemoglobin content in animals like cow, buffalo and dog are entirely different. Why these animals possess different amount of hemoglobin in their body? According to the need of the body, they possess a particular amount of hemoglobin to transport especially the respiratory gases. Here just I mentioned about the hemoglobin content of the normal man and normal woman. In normal man, the range is in between 30.5 gram to 17.5 gram per deciliter. In normal man, what is the range? 13.5 to 17.5 gram per deciliter. In case of woman, a normal healthy woman, the range is in between 12 grams to 15.5 grams. In woman, 12 gram to 15.5 gram per deciliter. In case of children, the range is in between 11 gram to 15 gram. In children, 11 gram to 15 gram. Because in children varies according to the month. So that varies in between 9 to 15. So from first month, that third month, like that, it increases the amount in between 11 to 15. Just before I have told you that hemoglobin is a protein molecule. The production of hemoglobin requires an element named iron. Iron. The deficiency of iron in our body leads to a condition called anemia. Anemia. That means the deficiency of iron leads to less production of hemoglobin in the body. That leads to a disease called anemia. The main symptoms of anemia are dizziness, headache, weakness, and irregular heartbeat. As you are children, you have to include more iron-rich food in your diet, so we can maintain a normal level of hemoglobin in our body. So hemoglobin is required for all level of human beings, both children, youngsters, adolescents and old age people. So we need to maintain iron-rich diet daily so that we will not get anemia. The next cells are WBC or white blood cells. These white blood cells are responsible for our immunity. So they fight against disease-causing germs. There are different types of WBC such as neutrophil, eosinophil, basophil, lymphocyte, monocytes. Those are responsible for different immune-related functions. Then finally, platelets. These platelets are involved in the coagulation or clotting of blood because several factors that are required for clotting or coagulation are present in the platelets. Then I hope you got an idea about blood and its components, the plasma, the formed elements RBC, WBC and platelets. Secondly, let's learn about blood vessels. Blood vessels. There are mainly two types of blood vessels. They are arteries and veins. Arteries and veins. So arteries are the blood vessels that carry oxygen-rich blood from the lungs to different parts of the body, while the veins are the blood vessels that transport the deoxygenated blood, the carbon dioxide-rich blood from the body parts to the heart. So, first difference is arteries carries pure blood, pure or oxygenated blood, while veins carry impure blood. Impure blood means carbon dioxide rich blood. So arteries carry the blood always from the heart to different parts, while the veins carry the blood from body parts to heart. So second difference, they transfer blood from the lungs to the heart to body parts, while the veins transport the impure blood from body parts to heart. The next difference, anatomical difference, internal difference. So for studying that, I just draw the diagram of the cross section of artery and vein. So cross section of artery then vein, cross section of vein. Here the thick wall, artery has thick wall and narrow lumen. In the diagram you can see this is a cross section of an artery. So it has thick wall, narrow lumen. So the lumen is very narrow so that the blood pressure is very much high in the artery. While here the wall is thin. The vein has thin wall. The lumen is wide lumen. So the blood is going very slowly so that compared to the artery, the blood pressure is comparatively low inside the veins. So the third difference you can write thick wall, thin wall. Fourth difference, narrow lumen, then wide lumen. Then the next one, high blood pressure inside the artery. Then comparatively low BP. BP means here blood pressure. Then the arteries are usually located inside the body. That means in between the connective tissue under the skin. That means deeply inside the skin. While the veins are peripherally located. So it is easily visible our veins. So here in the body there are many arteries. You will learn that about in higher classes. So here in the body there is one artery that carries impure blood. That is pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery is the artery that carries impure blood. All except the pulmonary artery, all other arteries carry pure blood. In the case of that veins, the only vein that transports pure blood, that is pulmonary vein. Pulmonary vein. See here, don't be confused. Pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein. Pulmonary artery is the only artery that carries impure blood. All other arteries carry pure blood. While the pulmonary vein is the only vein that carries pure blood. All other veins carry impure blood. Is it clear now? These are some differences between arteries and veins. Do you know the name of the largest artery in the body? That is aorta. aorta. This aorta divides to form arteries. Arteries. Then these arteries again divides to form arterioles. Arterioles. These arterioles divides to form fine tubules called the capillaries. Capillaries. Then capillaries are united with the fine venules. Then venules are joined to form veins. So, such many veins join to form the largest vena cava. Vena cava. So, this is a network of blood vessels that are found in human body. Here, diagrammatic representation, the largest aorta, then divides to form many small tubules called arteries. Again, arterioles, fine tubules. Then capillaries. These capillaries, again, venules. These venules are united to form veins. Finally, they form as vena cava. So, these aorta and vena cava are interconnected because they help in the transportation of both oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood. This is about our blood vessels. With this, I conclude my session. Today we have learnt only about blood and blood vessels. We will learn about heart, its structure and function in the upcoming classes. So, thank you and have nice moments.